Tony, the Minnesota Film Festival is well underway with several filmmakers from the Midwest. The Zeitgeist Cinema hosts films talking about sled dog racing, our neighbors to the north, and more. Filmmakers from our region are using the opportunity to network with each other to share ideas as well as test their luck with some movie pitches of their own. The festival received more than 350 projects from hopeful filmmakers wanting to get their works featured, and one special project made its Midwest premiere this week, sharing a special story. And to tell us more about this is Northern News Now's Mitchell Zimmerman talking to some people involved with that film. Mitchell, how did this film begin?
Yeah, good morning, Natalie. That's right. The film is called Without Arrows, and it details the story of a champion grass dancer from the Cheyenne River Sioux tribe who returns home to carry on his mom's legacy of keeping his family together. Now, the documentary details the story of Delwyn Fiddler Jr., who was and still is a successful grass dancer who lived in Philadelphia. He originally moved to the East Coast after he left his reservation as a young man to escape family trauma. Over a 13-year journey, Fiddler Jr. returns home to South Dakota to reconnect with his family and his Native American roots. Fiddler Jr. says the film shares his story, but is one that many Indigenous people can relate to.
As long as I'm alive, I'm going to continue to share that, just like my mother, to share the history and to share the culture and engage with the people, all people and everybody, to bring them together in that such way.
Creators worked on the documentary for over a decade. Most of the production crew have Indigenous backgrounds, which was a priority for the film's creators. They say while it's important to have Indigenous voices in front of the camera, it's also important to have them behind the camera, too.
We are still here. We are still strong and powerful and thriving people. And this film really adds to that in a good way.
The film showed Wednesday at the Minnesota Film Festival to a packed audience at the Zeitgeist Cinema. Day and Fiddler Jr. said much of the audience understood a lot of the jokes and stories told in the documentary. And Elizabeth Day, whom you just heard from there, says she pitched another Native American film based in Duluth at the pitch competition yesterday. So she's hoping she can start working on that project soon. Natalie?